Stop scrolling. Stop telling yourself it'll get better someday. Stop expecting the universe or anyone to deliver your mood for you. Your feelings don't control you. You control your feelings. Your body, your brain, your nervous system, these are tools. They're not prisons. But the problem is most people live in autopilot, letting every trigger just hijack their day. Stress, anxiety, frustration, anger, low energy, all of these are signals from your brain trying to survive, not thrive. And here's the kicker, most people spend decades letting these signals dictate their lives. Welcome back to Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. This is the short, actionable podcast to give you tips and tricks to help you get from stuck to unstoppable. I'm Sanj, and I'm here to help you on that journey, to help you take back control of your life, to take back the pen so you can write your life story the way you want it to be written. If you get something from this episode, please let me know. Leave me a rating, leave me a review. Let me know what your biggest takeaways were and how, if whatever you implement from it, how it impacted your life. So today we're talking about how to trick yourself into feeling better, because so many people let their body, let their mind, let their nervous system just control them. Yeah, let their feelings, their stress, their anxiety, frustration, all of these signals dictate their lives. But you're not most people. You're listening to this. You want to take action. And today we're going to take those signals, the fear, the stress, the doubt, the overwhelm, and we're going to turn it into energy, focus, and just unstoppable momentum. So by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to hack your mind to feel better on demand, no matter what's happening around you. And the first step, that's understanding why your brain feels the way it does. Because until you understand the wiring, you cannot flip that switch. As I said, your brain is a survival machine. I've said it before, I'll say it again. That's it. All it is made for is to keep you alive. Nothing personal, nothing aspirational, just survival. You have two parts of your brain. One is your amygdala, which is your threat detector. It lights up at anything it interprets as dangerous. An angry email, a looming deadline, a traffic jam, just your cortisol, your adrenaline spikes, your heart races, your hands sweat, your body is screaming, fight or flight. This is your pure animalistic brain. But then you've got your prefrontal cortex, and this is your higher order control center. This is the executive function, your emotional regulation, your strategic thinking. It's energy intensive, it's slow to fire, and it's often outmatched by the limbic system if you don't train it. So fear and excitement, these are the same physiological signature: heart racing, shallow breath, adrenaline surge. But the only difference is your interpretation. Your prefrontal cortex decides threat or opportunity. And the issue here is that most people will stay victims of their interpretation. But you got the opportunity to master it, because when you learn to override the autopilot, that's when things are going to change. Waiting to feel better without understanding the mechanism is like waiting for your car to drive itself while the engine is off. You need the ignition. And this is how we're going to do it today. So let's talk about how you can trick yourself into feeling better. Because you've got this primal threat detector where it fires fear, anger, anxiety, and it responds in milliseconds. It's automatic, it's unconscious, and it's there for survival. It doesn't reason with anything, it just reacts. So your amygdala is that thing. Your hypothalamus, that releases your stress hormone. Yeah, your cortisol, your adrenaline, and it prepares your body for action. It drives the classic fight or flight response, but it's not intelligent. All it is raw energy. As mentioned before, your prefrontal cortex is your control center for your rational thought, for your long-term planning. So, unlike the amygdala, it consumes energy and requires focus. And then you've got your mirror neurons and your embodied cognition. This is your posture, gestures, and even your facial expressions. And all of these feed back into your brain. You stand tall and powerful, your brain interprets confidence. You slouch, frown, or shrink, your brain then reinforces fear and low energy. Your mind and body are in a constant feedback loop. You shift one and the other follows. And this is the foundation for emotional hacking, because your state is not fixed, it's programmable. This is why they say if you stand in the superhero pose for a couple of minutes, it increases your confidence, your testosterone, because your body is in a posture which shows confidence, shows power. And so then as a result, your brain then follows that. So here's one thing you can do. Reframe your fear as excitement. Because fear and excitement, they trigger the same physiological responses: heightened heart rate, increased energy, amplified alertness. But the thing is your nervous system, your autonomic nervous system, doesn't distinguish between the two. All it does is fire chemicals. So you identify the physical cues of fear: your heart racing, sweaty palms, tense muscles. And what you can do is, when you're doing this, when you're in this moment and you're feeling that fear, you can start to label it internally as excitement. I'm excited for this challenge, instead of I'm terrified. And that's what I was doing a couple of weeks ago. I went to a theme park, and one of the roller coasters, I like roller coasters, but one of the roller coasters really pushed me out of my comfort zone. And I was terrified. But then I remembered this hack. And so I started to actually say to myself, I'm excited for this challenge. I'm excited to go on this roller coaster. It's going to be great. And then and then you can narrate your experience using empowering language. Yeah, do something as well, like pairing micro breathing, because when you start to feel fear, you start to inhale quickly and exhale quickly as well. So when you start to inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 2, and exhale, which is longer than the inhale, it actually regulates your autonomic arousal. So while it maintains that energetic intensity. So then what it does is it tells your brain that the situation is an opportunity. Dopamine and adrenaline are harnessed for performance rather than panic. And so what will happen over time is your neural circuits are rewired, associating these high stakes situations with reward instead of threats. So the next thing you could do is physiological state manipulation. As I said, body and brain are inseparable. Your posture, your facial expressions, your movement, all of this, and feed into your nervous system cues. So you want to feel confidence? Stand tall, shoulders back, chest up, chin high. Smile, even if it's forced, to trigger mirror neurons. And these will actually show positive emotions. It will increase positive emotions. Burst movements, 30 jumping jacks, rapid arm swings, or just a 20-second sprint in place. Yeah. Add temperature or maybe tactile cues, a cold splash of water, grounding foot contact, or just a short massage. By physical actions dampen cortisol, and it actually elevates dopamine. And so you prime the prefrontal cortex for rational thought. So by doing this, limbic panic responses are actually short-circuited, and your brain interprets a state as safe yet energized. The next thing you can try is mental reframing. Your thoughts are patterns of neural activity. When you change a thought, and you change a perception and the emotional response. So identify reactive self-talk, something like, this is awful, I can't handle this, and replace it with empowering statements like, this is an opportunity to grow, and I can handle this and learn something valuable. Visualize overcoming a stress or challenge. Narrate deliberately in the present tense, linking your body posture to your mental state, as I mentioned before. By doing this, it actually inhibits your amygdala overactivation, and it actually helps you rewire your brain circuits towards resilience. And keep on doing this. Repetition of this actually strengthens your automatic positive pathways. The next thing you can do is you can try dopamine micro triggers. This is dopamine, which is your brain's reward signal. So micro actions trigger small surges, reinforcing positive emotions. So just do things like complete micro tasks, make your bed, do 10 push-ups, send a nice message to someone, celebrate internally, audibly, just something like a small fist bump, high five, and track those wins. Yeah, because that will compound your reinforcement. Create environmental anchors. So context drives emotion. So your brain subconsciously associates spaces, sounds, and objects with emotional states. So if you've got an environment for low energy cues, such as a cluttered desk, passive scrolling, negative media, start to introduce high energy anchors, bright lighting, motivating visuals, some music playlists, open spaces, plants, something to actually create a better and more optimistic area around you. And then keep a state reset corner, a chair, object, or just a space which is associated with confidence, with focus or clarity, because your brain actually encodes environmental cues as predictors of emotions. So when you shift these cues, you shift your mood. Number 6 is micro action momentum. This is energy is cumulative. It's small deliberative actions that trigger feedback loops that reinforce your regulation over your limbic reactivity. So choose 3 micro actions per day, such as walking, stretching, deep breath, power poses, or positive affirmations, and stack them sequentially to create momentum and confidence. Yeah, when you actually integrate this with hacks 1 to 5, it will actually compound. So that's what I want you to do over the next 3 days. Every day, identify one stressor or one fear trigger and apply all 6 hacks. Reframe, move, rewrite, micro win, anchor, micro action. Yeah, track your state before and after, and just reflect at the end of the day. Did I master my brain or did it master me? Because you are not your feelings. You are the operator of your emotions, and every single signal your brain sends, whether it's fear, stress, frustration, is just energy waiting for a direction. So by mastering these hacks, you become the person who can show up calm, focused, empowered, just on demand. And this is how leaders, this is how high performers and those unstoppable humans that you look up to operate. It's not luck, it's choice, it's mastery. When you own your state, when you own your mind, you own your life. I hope you got something from this episode. If you did, DM me on Instagram at just.live.coaching or share it. Join the Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life community on Facebook and share your biggest takeaways. Let me know what you're going to implement from the episode and how it impacts your life. For you guys out there, if you're looking for a group of like-minded men who are on their personal development journeys from stuck to unstoppable, join the Motivated Man community on Facebook. And there's monthly challenges, a monthly book club, and we're helping you, support you on your journey from stuck to unstoppable. I hope you got something from this episode, and if you did, please leave me a rating or review. Let me know what your biggest takeaways were, and thank you for listening.